In my last podcast episode, I talked about my experience using dark magic, and I'm going to talk about that some more today. And I am also going to talk about the shadow and the 7 deadly sins. Okay? All right. Now, when I look at my personal timeline and I look at different points in this life, I see the choices that I made to use magic, witchcraft, or any of those pagan forms of religion. There was an enticement. What do I mean by that? I mean that there was something lacking in me, or something driving me. That's a better word. Something driving me to this tool, this lower frequency choice, to gain control over my life, over things that I was experiencing that I had no control over, and to manipulate my fate, and also to exact revenge on people. I recorded this a couple times, but the last recording was really dark. Now, when I look at different reasons why I chose to do something, I can trace back my motivations for using dark magic. My prime motivations for that were greed, wrath, and lust, and envy. This overwhelming wanting of money, this lust of money, wanting it, and constant chasing money. I still chase it. But back when I was a lot younger and I was very green and very, very, very immature, very, very, very emotionally dysregulated, my desperation made this an appealing choice to me, because the idea of not having to labor for money at various points in my life, when I was laboring, when I was expending more of my energy to bring money to me, to only have it go right out of my hands. Talk about a siphoning of somebody's synergy cell, of your energy. Among other things, but literally that was it. And this constant pushing the boulder up the hill, constant, there was that. Then there was this, that I don't know if I mentioned pride, but my vanity, to prove to other people that I was worthy, that I was desirable, to fulfill all the thoughts that I had of myself in my head, that I was going to defy the stereotype, and of course, my lust for certain people, my desire for those objects of my affection or my sexual attractiveness. So those were my underlying motivations, and those could be very strong. There was also this deep hole within me, from a lot of heartbreak, a lot of failure in relationship with men, just trying to fill that loneliness, and having different situations, being in certain situations, experiences where there was always triangulation, always. That was a common theme, triangulation, in every relationship with a man that I've had, if you can call them relationships. So nevertheless, there was always another woman, something, this constant unattainability. This was driving me and making me so incredibly lonely, so deeply lonely. It was like somebody gouged my heart out for a long time, but I wanted somebody in my life, and I didn't care. I didn't care whether they were a good person or not. They were somebody that I was physically intimate with, and they'll do. I'll take anybody. Don't care. And I was doing different things to try and tether these people to me. Of course, I did succeed at doing that, but it didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. Every lower frequency choice that I've made, these are the strongest motivations, the ones I've mentioned, in many of my choices, whether it be to have used dark magic or have chosen to work in the adult industry for 17 years of my life. I'm not talking about like the Hollywood adult industry. I'm talking about on the internet. in the privacy of my own home. Those were choices that were driven by all of those things I've mentioned, those motivations. You might think to yourself, well, how could somebody just choose to do any of these things? Well, I did mention there was money. Now, money is a powerful motivator, and the promise that you can earn a tremendous amount of money simply by exchanging images of your body, regardless of whether or not it is the ideal, because that's where it really was like, oh, anybody can make money. And I mean, listen, to a degree, I made money. Most of it was on the phone. But what did I do? I talked on the phone. I indulged people in their kinks, and I got paid. And sometimes I was sent presents. I was sent gifts. And I'm not going to lie, that stuff was nice. It was kind of like having different sugar daddies. And when your drive for this stuff trumps everything else, your morality, and I understand there is no right, there is no wrong, but your compass, your compass is going to point in whatever direction of where the thing you want is. And you will make all kinds of concessions for your choices. Now, I also mentioned triangulation being a common theme with every man I've been involved with. And in all cases, these men that I was involved with mistreated me and disrespected me, and sometimes humiliated me, and sometimes physically misused me, and other forms of mistreatment. It's easy to make a choice that will fix or remove a problem or somebody who has done you wrong. And because of society and what we are taught, what is right, what is wrong, what are laws, you can't take out revenge on people. You can't damage their property or hurt them physically, right? Somebody who wants that kind of control and vengeance will and can and will justify their choice to work a spell on somebody. Because when you work a spell, or when you craft whatever it is, you use whatever paraphernalia you use to exact an outcome on somebody that is what you perceive done you wrong, there's no questioning, is what I'm doing right? Is what I'm doing wrong? This is how I feel. This is how this person has made me feel. And they're getting away with it. They're getting away with being a garbage person. And I'm the one who has to suffer their consequences. That's how you look at it. They're the ones that made me suffer. They're the ones that hurt me. That's how you look at it, in a very, very narcissistic way. You can very easily rationalize it because, hey, I didn't lay a finger on this person. I didn't say anything, or maybe I did. Scratch that. But I didn't do anything to this person where I could get in trouble by the law. And I could exact my revenge unbeknownst to the guilty party. Do you see what we do in the shadows? Do you see that? Isn't that seductive? It's seductive because it is something that gives you this perception of complete freedom and operating outside of the laws of society, outside of the rules of society. It is very easy to make those choices without any nudging of your conscience telling you this is wrong. At least for me, okay? At least for me. So when you have a shadow self, which we all do, and that shadow is unbeknownst to you, when it is unbeknownst to you, you can be seduced by many different lower frequency paths. And dark or black magic is one of them. Just one of them. I'm going to kind of keep it at that. But there were things that I did to people. That's stuff that I've held in for a very long time that I'm the only person who knows what those things were. That's something that I've acknowledged and admitted to myself. This is why I did that, because I was vengeful because in my lack of maturity and my unwillingness to accept truths about myself, I chose to lash out at other people covertly. And you might say, well, I'm not that kind of person. Yeah, well, you know what? For a long time, I've been walking around as the victim of a lot of people. And that is the origin story of the narcissist. It's everybody else that's doing things to them. Everybody else's fault as to why my attitude is the way it is, as to why my personality is the way that it is, as to whatever. So this is food for thought. This is why I am so passionate about kicking people off and away from me that are practicing that stuff, because they are not decent people. They are not decent people. And I was not a decent person. I'm not a decent person. And I've told you guys, I'm not a nice person because I know the truth about myself. Yeah. Am I kind? Yes. I know this is all a conundrum, but yes, you can be two things at once. You can be kind and you can be mean, and you could be vengeful to those that you feel deserve it because they're rotten people. And how dare they do that to me? Do you see what I'm saying? Or this person has what I have, or has what I want, or took what I had. So envy and jealousy. You see, this is how this all works. So again, food for thought. I hope this hits home in a real way. And this is just one video of a series. How long that series is, I don't know, but there is going to be a follow-up episode regarding this topic. And on that note, have a great day and be well.